Hey guys, real quick, Megan from the future here. I wanted to explain that I meant to get this video up yesterday, because today it's Sunday. It's like noon whenever I'm recording this. I wanted to get this video up yesterday, but I didn't. I just didn't finish editing it in time before I got tired of it and frustrated and went to bed. So that's it. That's all. Enjoy the rest of the video, and I'll see you guys hopefully sooner than Saturday with another video. Bye. This is what chronic pain looks like, my dudes. Here's what happened, is Monday night I took everything out of my bedroom, my entire bedroom. You've probably seen the crap that was in the background of previous videos. I took all of my furniture out. I took the 2 folding tables that were my desk. I took my crappy, not quite a futon out, and I actually moved everything around in my whole room. I moved everything. And I put together a new desk, and I put together a new bed, and I put a new mattress on it, like I've got new furniture. Because I am an adult, I am a grown woman, and I should sleep on a real bed and not some shitty $100 couch from Walmart. And I definitely should not have done any of that by myself. I should have had help. I should have gotten my dad to help me, or my brother to help me, or I should have gotten somebody to come in and help me at least move things, because I overdid it. I went into a spoon deficit on Monday, and I'll put a link in the description below to like any kind of whatever website or something I can find that explains like the spoon thing. But those of you who know understand what I'm talking about. I have a finite amount of things I can do in a day, and on Monday I basically cashed in my entire week of spoons to redo my bedroom. And while I appreciate sleeping in a real bed, that's been a dream. That's been great. I've even got pillows, which is something I never do. I haven't slept on a pillow. I haven't slept with a pillow in like 8 years because I usually hate them. But yeah, I've appreciated sleeping in an actual bed, but I should not have done that by myself because Tuesday I was in so much pain. None of this is making sense. I know, and none of this is about books. I know this is supposed to be like a mini update for my Kindle thing, and it's been 3 minutes and I've just been rambling about how much my life sucks right now. I am reading, that's why I'm in bed, so I'm crocheting. And I'm reading. I haven't finished Darklight yet at all. This is my Kindle Paperweight, by the way. I put it in this cute little thing. I'm reading. I'm writing down thoughts. I'm on like page 250. So I'm past the halfway mark, and I'm still not loving the book. But again, maybe I'm just picky. One of my friends in a previous video mentioned that I should use like a D100 or a dartboard to figure out what my next book is going to be. I'm not going to use the dartboard method because A, I'm not going to buy a dartboard, and B, I'm going to hurt myself. If I use a dartboard, I'm going to hurt myself. But the D100 thing I can do, so we'll do something nerdy with dice to figure out like what I'll be reading next. So, anyways, I don't actually have much. I realized like I spent 3 minutes complaining about how much my body hurts, and now I'm feeling really self-conscious about it, so I'm just gonna sign off on this clip for now, and I'll see you guys in the next update. Bye! Celebratory Route 44 Coke. What are we celebrating? We're celebrating the fact that I can hear again out of both of my ears now, which only cost me $120 in 2 hours, because urgent care was busy. I did exactly what I said I was gonna do, and I slept all of Tuesday. I think the last video I recorded was me saying that I was going to take a no spoons nap because I'd basically just run out of energy for the day. I was at a spoon deficit on Monday, and I was like, well, Tuesday I need to get my spoons back, so I was going to take a nap, and that nap turned into a sleep, and that sleep turned into a hibernation because I woke up at like 10:45. My dad came in to yell at me to eat food because I hadn't eaten food, and to tell me that he remembered to take his medicine all by himself, which I'm super proud of him. And then I messaged my friend Cassie, and I was like, hey, I'm awake. And then I died again. I fell asleep till like 4 in the morning, and after that I woke up and I just started reading. Oh man, I finished Darklight by Bella Forrest. I burned through the last like 200 and some odd pages of this book, and it was just, I just wanted it to be over. It's very clearly the start of a series, because to me it felt like it needed to tread a very fine line toward the end there of feeling like the plot is moving forward without like making it seem like you wasted your time with the previous like 60% of the book 70% of the book because the plot itself, like the big twist doesn't happen till like the 30% mark, or 30%, 70% mark. And it very much fails at doing that. Like, it fails at doing that, sort of. Because the whole book is basically like, it takes till about the 20% mark to even get to the vampires, and the vampires, then they start this thing where they're like, hey, the vampires and the humans are gonna work together to test, like, the vampires, because the vampires want asylum because their world's nearly destroyed, and blah, blah, blah. And then they do all this stuff, and then, like, one thing happens, and it sort of sets everything back, but they still decide that the experiment is a success, and then the character, like, basically the main character basically accidentally stumbles across the big plot twist, and then goes back, and it's like, everybody, this is the thing that's happening, and the vampires are like, oh shit, and then they fight, and then everybody leaves, and then all the vampires are like, blah, 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 and then they leave, and it's just like, I have to admit, the last 30% of this book, when the characters were figuring out, like, the big thing that I was suspecting was gonna happen all along, because I'm a paranoid person. Shadow Magic proved it, this book proved it. I was just like, that's the bad guy, it's gotta be the bad guy. There's no way somebody in a position of authority in this kind of book wouldn't be a bad guy, and they were a bad guy, and I'm not mad at the author. It's me. I'm the defective one here. I'm the broken person who can't read a book and think, this is a trustworthy individual. I would definitely put the lives of my characters in the hands of this person. So it wasn't a bad book. It's very clearly the first book in a long series, and I don't care enough to read the rest of it. It's like a 3-star book. It's well written. At least I hope it's well written, because the author's written like 160 some odd books, so, you know, practice makes at least as close to perfect as a person can get. Anyway, I did make a few decisions. I had my friend Mooney in the last video said that I should choose my next book by rolling a D100 or a dartboard. I can get a dartboard, but I'm not going to get a dartboard because A, I don't want to buy a dartboard, and B, I will hurt myself. I hurt myself enough as it is. I do not need to hurt myself by throwing darts at things. I also considered, like, just kind of every time I would get an advertisement, like, writing the book title down and then, like, putting in a cup and then pulling out of the cup, but that's boring. That's boring. I'm a giant nerd, and I have a giant box of dice. This is actually only maybe like a 1/4 of my dice collection. So, and I thought, let's do something with the dice. I was gonna roll a D100, but I don't have 100 advertisements that I've seen yet. I do have, so I have like a thing here, and I have about 24 advertisements that I've seen, and I can cross out 2 of them because 2 of them are books that aren't on Kindle Unlimited, and that was the caveat for this experiment, was that if they're not on Kindle Unlimited, I'm not going to do it because I'm not going to buy more books. I don't want to spend more... I can't spend money on books when I have more yarn to buy. Because now I'm a weird, crazy crochet lady. Maybe I'll be one of those people that makes a crochet couch for the cat. I don't have a cat, but I can get a cat and make it a couch. Right, anyways, I've marked out 4 books because 2 of them are books that aren't on Kindle Unlimited, and 2 of them are Dark Light by Bella Forrest, which I just finished. And I've also decided that for a series, I will read the first book in a series. I won't read the whole series, but I'll at least give the first book a shot, because who knows, maybe I like the whole thing. And it's just something I can read later, but to give this experiment a shot, I'm going to read the first book in every series, in the series, if that's the series that it gives me. And my thing just told me I have 7% left, so I'm gonna hurry up. My battery has 7% left, so I'm gonna hurry up and finish this. Right, so this is the dice that almost killed my Pathfinder character. It almost threw her off a goddamn bridge. Well, it threw her off of a bridge. But she survived that because I was broken at the time. I'm not broken right now, but that's a super long story. And it looks like number 8. Yeah, it looks like 8 is the book that we're going to be reading, and that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. On the Edge by Brittany Sahin, which is the one about the billionaire Irish businessman. So that should be fun. I think it's like 400 pages. And it's a romance novel. Boy. This will be interesting. This will be very interesting. Anyway, so that's the next book I'm gonna read. Hopefully that won't take me as long to read as Dark and Light did, but you never know. It looks like I'm gonna be out of work for the next 3 weeks, so, you know, I can stop dragging my feet on it. Anyways, I'm gonna go read that. I'm gonna start reading that. I'm gonna drink my giant Coke. I'm gonna finish finish crocheting a blanket, and I will see you guys probably in a few hours with another update, or tomorrow, because I'll forget. You know me, the attention span of a goldfish. I don't know, I don't know if it's the lighting that's highlighting the corpse-like look that I always have, or if it's the lighting that usually hides it. I can't tell. I'm also very tired, because again, I've been awake since 4 in the morning, but I don't want my body to go to sleep, because then I would be asleep too early. Because if I go to bed before midnight, I've admitted defeat. I'm also getting hosed on turnips this week in Animal Crossing. Hosed. But that was my bad. I played the stock market, and in return, the stock market played me. I put 1.7 million bells into turnips, and if I break even by the end of this week, I'll be surprised. Anyway, I finished. I'm holding up my Kindle as if it is the book, because it was on my Kindle, but now it's not. I finished On the Edge by Brittany Sahin. Kindle, Amazon, says that it normally takes people 6 hours to read this book. Your girl did it in 3.5 because I needed that nightmare to be over with. Okay, so that sounds bad when I say it that way, because it sounds like I didn't, that the book was bad, but the book was fine. Like, the writing was pretty solid, the character development was good, like, the characters had growth. I was expecting them to be, like, incredibly one-dimensional the whole time, and the book to basically be, like, 100% about sex, but it wasn't. Like, there was a plot, there was a story arc, weak as it was. So, I mean, there were parts of it that I enjoyed, but for the most part, I give this book 3 stars because it's just not my cup of tea. I don't know, like, what I was thinking when I did this, and I don't know what I expected going into a romance novel, but man, boy, there were several moments in this book where I had to, like, put it down and walk away for a few minutes because I was too asexual for some of this shit. Too ace for some of this shit. Seriously, like, there's a moment in, like, there's a moment in the movie, there's a moment in the book, and it's probably, like, it's like barely 100 pages in, where the Adam is driving Anna. Adam's our billionaire business dude, and Anna is the Kentucky farm girl who comes to Dublin to work at an internship for his company. That's all you really need to know about those two. They have some character development and some backstory that gets, like, revealed over the course of the book, so they're fine. Like, it's an okay book. But they're riding in a car together, and she specifically thinks about riding him, and that means exactly what you think it means. Boys, girls, humans, meatbags. But she thinks about writing him, and I had to walk away for a few minutes. And then there's another point, there's several points where they talk about erect nipples, and I have to wonder if is that really what is that what humans' nipples do? Is that really, like, are nipples barometers of arousal? I don't understand. I feel I'm too ace for this. Once these characters start having sex, it's like a faucet. They just keep doing it. They're either doing it, they're referencing times that they did it, or they're thinking about doing it. It's just so much. It's so much, and I can't take it. Also, before I pick the next book, there's a novella, because at the end, like, the big thing is basically, like, one of Adam's friends gets in trouble, and the sleazy, like, shady asshole who got the friend in trouble was like, he owes me a lot of money because he keeps losing these fights, and I want you to fight. And the guy's like, well, I'll just pay you off if you want money. He's like, no, I don't want money. I want you to fight, or I'm gonna break his legs, and I'm gonna send somebody to do your girlfriend. Which is so, like, the thread that connects Anna to this plot is threadbare to start with. Just super thin. Just unraveling. Anyways. What was I? Anyway, so the whole thing is that he has to fight, and his family's like, don't fight. If you fight, we'll lose you. Because that's all you're addicted to fighting. You're addicted to fighting. Because he's always like, I'm too dangerous for you, Anna. Which I know sounds very familiar. I didn't look when this book was written versus when 50 Shades of Grey was written, but this character's name is just Anna. What's her last name? There's like this big thing where he has to fight, and then he does, like, the fight thing resolves itself, and then after that it's like a series of just, it's like this whiplash of things that are happening. It's like, oh, this thing is happening, and then this thing is happening, and then this thing is happening, and all these things are happening, and you're just like, the hell just happened? And the characters get, like, engaged at the end. Okay, good. Awesome. Thumbs up. If that's a spoiler for you, you're clearly not reading romance novels. So I'm pretty sure that's like 90% of romance novels are either ends in engagement or slash marriage or ends in a baby, I think. Maybe. I don't know if I want to read more of these. Anyways, there is a sequel to this novel. Number 2, Dublin Nights Number Dose, is called On the Line, and apparently our blushing bride, Anna, gets kidnapped or something. She isn't gonna make it to the wedding, and this somehow involves our main character, Adam, involving some kind of like special ops or former special ops to find her, and I'm really curious as to how we got from point A to point B. Point A being marriage of Kentucky farm girl to business billionaire Irish dude, to point B being billionaire business Irish dude having to find a special ops guy a la Liam Neeson to go and find his kidnapped fiance. Like, I'm curious. It's 136 pages. So part of me wants to be like, screw it, I could do that in like 20 minutes. But the other part of me is like, don't give into this, because there's just gonna be there's probably gonna be a lot of sex in it again, and I'm just not, I can't do it. I don't know if I can do it. I don't know if I can do it. Anyways, time to pick the next book. I need to film more of these whenever I'm half tired, or half tired, half awake, half dead, half sane, because I don't care. I get real crazy at these. Anyways, time to pick another dice. By the way, I'm not using the dice that almost killed my Pathfinder character. I'm using a sparkly orange dice that my boyfriend tried to tell me that I didn't need when I went to MegaCon last year, and he is wrong. Wrong! You never don't need dice. They were shiny and sparkly and orange, and they match another set of dice that I have, and I want them. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, it looks like we are reading The Atlantis Gene by A.G. Riddle. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it does. I don't know what it's about. I think, from the sounds of it, it's probably a sci-fi. So, yeah. Looks like we're gonna dig our heels back into some familiar territory with the next book and maybe read a sci-fi. So I will be back tomorrow with another update. Because I'm just trying to hang on for a couple more hours before I go to bed. Because now I'm freaking tired. Bye. Man, I sounded real crazy in this one. I'm sorry. Things I've learned this week in the second week of the Kindle experiment is that I have only the very weakest of holds on my anxiety, and whenever I don't have I don't have the healthiest coping mechanisms. I think I did pretty good this week versus week 1 because I finished 2 books and I started a third. Because I finished Darklight earlier, and then I read On the Edge all in one day because I guess I lost my goddamn mind or something. I started Atlantis Gene, which is really funny. So the Atlantis Gene, I don't know if it's a thriller or if it's a sci-fi or if it's like a little bit of both. Like, I would say soft sci-fi is the best way to put it because nobody's in space or anything. It's in modern society, like modern-ish, I guess. Like, I don't really know. I don't remember what year it was written, but still. And it's a super popular book, but I was surprised to see it was 640 some odd pages, which is not necessarily what I signed up for, but I'll read it because it said I was going to. And it's funny because my biggest complaint about Darklight and Shadow Magic, which I know Shadow Magic I read last month, it's not part of the Kindle experiment, but my biggest complaint with both of those books is that it felt like nothing was happening and then everything happened all at once. Whereas this one, it just started with happening. Within the first 30 pages, we've discovered like some sort of long-lost Nazi technological secret. There's been a train bombing, but it was actually a cover-up for a different terrorist attack. And then there was a There were 2 kids were kidnapped from an autism research facility or something, I think. It's been very strange or very hard to keep track of what's happening because it was like the prologue was the Nazi thing, and then the first 20 pages or so of the actual book itself was hopping between both of those scenes back and forth with and then there's like a couple of them sprinkled in, and it's been a lot for 30 pages. So I'm wondering if maybe I'm getting the opposite of what I asked for and it's too much. I suppose we'll find out. I haven't read much more because yesterday we heard back from my boss that we might be going back to work soon, but we don't know when that is. We have no answers, and that's really what triggered my anxiety this week, is that we don't have any answers. We don't know when we're going back. We don't know how, if we're gonna have the protective equipment that we need, like masks and gloves and cleaning stuff. We don't know how we're gonna social distance in the store. We don't know how we're gonna limit the amount of customers that come in and out. So there's a lot of details that haven't been worked out yet, and as of this morning, we're on standby, quote unquote, whatever that means. Because there was some thought that we were going to open today because the mall opens back up today. I assumed by the fact that when I got up and moving around 1 o'clock, nobody had called me that we weren't opening today. And my boss says that we're on standby, and I was like, are we going to have some sort of how advance of a warning are we going to get before we have to go back, before we have to go in and open the store? And she's like, well, I don't know. And I'm just like, it's not her I'm mad at, because she has the same lines of communication that the rest of us do. It's that our higher-ups are not communicating to us, so we don't have the answers to these questions, and I'm finding that's a really big trigger for my anxiety this week, has just been knowing something is imminent but not having the details on how to deal with that thing. So, I feel some human emotion, unfortunately. That is the downside to my fleshy moral body, is that sometimes it feels things when I don't really want it to feel them. So, anyways, I'm gonna wrap this up because I don't really have much more else to add. This video is probably gonna be long enough. That's it, that's all I got. I'm gonna drink a Coke, I'm gonna eat some chocolate because I feel like it. I'm gonna finish edit this video, have it up in the next couple hours, and probably read a book and crochet like it. We'll find out. The night is young, I say that as it is 5 o'clock. Anyway, yeah. I'm gonna one day figure out how to end these without it being awkward. Subscribe for the next random upload. Hit a like if you like. If you had any sort of weird anxiety spikes this week, go ahead and leave in the comments what you've done to cope with them. Because so far, all I've done is just crochet. I get bored. I get bored. I get in one of my anxiety episodes and I just sit down and I do the same. It's been very nice to have something that's just a repetitive task that I don't have to think about, because crochet, if I'm just repeating the same row over and over again, I don't have to think about it. It's just my brain focusing on going through those motions, or I'll watch a tutorial and try to recreate that. So that's been, I don't know if that's an unhealthy coping mechanism or what, but at least I'm getting some blankets out of it. And yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys hopefully sometime soon. I'm hoping I'll get back to doing 2 videos a week, but we'll see how well my mental health holds up when I go back to work. Anyways, bye guys. Bye, 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 bye.